Hi guys, Empress G here again. Everybody I'm sure is doing great, it's Wednesday, the day is almost over. Anyway, listen, I have a really nice for people who are sweet tooth and really nice recipe here. It's called and I know it's Easter, so a lot of baking going on. So this one, if you are into Easter and your bun and stuff like that, okay, this is a more nutritious one. It's a hot cake and it's very simple, easy to make, and once it's done making, you just put on some of your nice ice cream on top of it, and I have a few ice cream that I make. I think yesterday I made almond ice cream, almond and pecan yesterday, and I did rum and raisin the other day because my folks around me like their ice cream, kids and everybody, so I make those. So this is a apple cake, right? It's very simple. You're just gonna be using a half a cup of butter, 1 cup sugar, brown sugar or white, whichever one you have, 2 eggs, a quarter teaspoon of vanilla. I'll put all of this down in the description. 1.5 cup all-purpose flour, 1 teaspoon of baking soda, just baking soda, no baking powder, 1 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, half a teaspoon of salt. I'm gonna keep the salt out because the butter I'm using I make a few minutes ago have salt in it, so I'm gonna minus the salt. And you're gonna shred up 1.5 cup of shredded apples, preferably not Granny Smith, that's too sour. You're gonna use a Gala or Red Delicious, a sweeter version. I use Gala. I love Gala. So 1.5 cups of that, and a half a cup of chopped walnut, and a quart. Later on they're talking about a quart of cinnamon ice cream or whichever ice cream. We have plenty of ice cream around for that later. So it's a very simple cake, and I thought since we're in the season for baking right now, and this is a very nutritious recipe. It's just a cup of sugar, and you have the apples in there with lots of fiber, so you can't go wrong here. Okay, so I have everything prepared, and like I said, it's a easy and quick recipe. So I normally like to sieve my flour, so this is a 1.5 cups of flour here I'm putting through. Okay, so that's a 1.5 cups of flour, and baking soda is a tablespoon. I have this recipe for so long I can't remember. Okay, so it's a teaspoon of baking soda, and once, like I say, you open your baking soda or your baking powder, put it in the fridge. It keeps fresher, and because even though that goes stale, folks, and baking soda goes stale. Okay, so it's a teaspoon of baking soda, not baking powder. A teaspoon. Okay, a tablespoon of yeah, a tablespoon. No, a teaspoon. What am I saying here? That would be a lot of baking powder. Okay, let me just get the baking powder. I just want to put all the dry ingredients together. I'm just preparing the baking powder right now. I just opened a new box. I like it fresh. So that's a teaspoon. I'll add a little bit more to that because that was sort of wasn't a full teaspoon. So I'll add a little bit more to that. So that's a teaspoon there of baking powder. And I just opened a new box for that. And the salt, like I said, I'm gonna minus the salt because the salt is in the butter. I make the butter salt in the butter, so I'm not gonna add any more salt to that. And it's all the other dry ingredients. It's a teaspoon of ground cinnamon, and cinnamon and apple. Wow. Two of those goes together so well, so I'm just gonna add a little extra, just like when you're doing your apple pies and stuff like that. So cinnamon goes with apple so well. So that's the salt is there, the baking soda, the flour. I think that this is all the dry ingredients, so I'm just gonna sieve it through, mix it up and sieve it through. It's good to sieve your stuff because you get all the all the lumps out of it. Yeah, even the your cinnamon and stuff, I simmer it. So that's the dry ingredients right there. Okay, And next we're gonna have for the wet. So it's a half a cup of butter, and this is my butter I just made. See, fresh. Did it myself. I tell you folks, there's nothing much that I don't make for myself. You know, everything as much as possible I make for myself. You know. So I just make that butter early on because I did a video up there already with the butter. So for the wet ingredients here, I have half a cup of flour, and I'm gonna be using 1 cup of brown sugar. You could use white if you choose to. I like brown sugar. You know, so it doesn't matter brown or white, but I prefer to use brown sugar in, you know, certain recipe. Only recipe that color wise I use white sugar, because some recipes not suitable, especially in appearance for. But otherwise I love my brown sugar. It's not a sweet cake, and this is why they say you can have your ice cream on top of it, you know, a nice piece of ice cream on it. And you also could do frosting, but I don't like to do frosting on most cake unless it's a chocolate cake I'm making. Then I, you know, do the frosting. I love chocolate cake also, so one day I might do a chocolate cake. And everything in moderation, people. Don't deprive yourself, you know. Yeah, this life is too short. Yes, you want to lose weight and stuff, but the body needs all of that stuff in moderation. And a piece of cake and a little ice cream ain't gonna kill you. I'm not depriving myself, you know. At my age, no. I'm gonna eat in moderation, but I'm gonna enjoy life. Okay, so we have that. We have the half a cup of butter, a cup of sugar, and vanilla. The vanilla will go with how much vanilla? A 1/4 teaspoon, but I'm gonna use a half because I love my vanilla. And that I'll add one side. I'm just gonna mix up the butter, and this is by hand. You don't need a mixer for this. So this is what I'm saying, this is a fast, simple cake. This is by hand. You're just gonna cream the butter and the sugar, and when this is all mixed up, you don't need a blender or anything for this. This is a easy and cake. Good for the buy stuff and the try stuff, you know. And apples are so much flavor in anything you do, so you can't go wrong with apple. I have this many years now. I got this recipe many years, and apple, anything with apple is very good. Lots of fiber. So I'm just gonna cream it out, and then I had the eggs and the vanilla. And the oven, your oven is preheated at 350, and mine is an electric oven, so that you just have to check whatever stove you're using and just set it right there. And it takes about 40 to 45 minutes to bake, so I probably will show you the final result in another video, because I don't want to put this video up too long. Next video I'll show you it come out of the oven and get the ice cream on it, you know. So yeah, so this one is just to show you, mix it up and stick it to the oven. Okay, so this is the butter and sugar cream. See, get very smooth. You just use a wooden spoon and you get it all nice and smooth. And now we're gonna add the eggs. And like I said, people, when you're doing your eggs, like this is in my culture anyway, when you do eggs, once you crack that egg, you take what is called the high out of it. And I know some people know it as a ligament, because it is very raw. And I just had squeezed a little lemon juice to the eggs. I'm not gonna add a little liquor also, but once I mix it up, I put a little lemon juice to it, and it's a 1/4 spoon of vanilla. I'm just gonna highball, because so a 1/4 teaspoon of vanilla, and you know me, so basically that it. And I'm gonna add a little bit of liquor in it, you know. I love just a little bit of wine, Manischewitz or Winkarnitz wine. Yeah, just to kill this smell of the egg. That's why you take that high out, because that's where a lot of the rawness is, in that white piece of thing there that attached. That is a ligament which attach the red of the egg to the white. That's all it is, you know, basically. But we grow up with it as that's where the rawness is in the egg. I'm gonna use my hand thing to smooth it out. I think I have, yeah, so manage your best wine also. And in this cake we're gonna add some walnut. Just to mix it up even. Okay. Okay, and I add a little wine, just a little sugar. And this is a good wine. This is what Concord, and it's, I think this is 10-11% alcohol. It's a sweet wine. Very good. Okay, so I have to cut up some walnut right now. Chop some walnuts. It's on the board. Like I said, I want this to be short and sweet. And this, I just buy the walnut by the package. Yeah, this is a good brand. This is organic. Yeah, I try to get that organic stuff as possible. And I'm just gonna cut up, just trying to chop your walnuts, okay? And it's up to you how much walnuts you like. Some people doesn't like nuts in their cake, but the walnut and the apple goes together very well. Okay. If I was doing a smoothie, I would toast the walnut, but because I'm baking, you don't need to do that because they're gonna be baked. Not that they're raw or anything, but when you doing a smoothie and you certain dishes, when you toast the walnut, especially for a salad and stuff like that, it give it a very nice taste. Toasted walnut. So for a cake, I just gonna chop this. You could also use I think almond, chopped almond, or whatever nuts you like in your cake. You could do that, you know. It's a very nice recipe. And like I said, you can put frosting on it if you want, but the main way to eat it, just put some ice cream on it. And once I open my bag of walnut, I put it in the fridge because in the summertime, you know, bugs or stuff can get into your stuff. And the time is getting warm now, so I just close it up and put it in the fridge. I think that's enough. So, okay. And I have my pan. You know, what you do with the baking pan, you just grease it and put a little flour on it. So right now I'm gonna add in the flour slowly, and it's a cup and a half, the flour and the cinnamon, and I minus the salt. I didn't put any salt because the butter was salted already. Okay, and you just slowly, you know, mixing everything at once, slowly. Okay, till you get it all incorporated. A very easy and fast recipe, but it's very good. And we also use a cup and a half of apple. We're gonna add the apple in now, and also the walnut, and then just incorporate everything in. And then you just mix. And so I'm just put the towel underneath the baking thing because it keeps shifting away. So you just mix up everything right now. And it bakes at 350 degrees for about 40 to 45 minutes. So like I said, I think I'm just gonna have to wait 40 minutes around. I'll do the rest in another video. So this is the part 1. I'll come back when they come out the oven and show it to you. And you want some nice ice cream on a nice warm piece. See folks, there you see, that's it. See, it's a simple cake. See? Look at that. Yeah. My hands are always clean, folks, so I know I normally use a scraper, but you still have to take stuff from the scraper, so I just mix it around. And there you go, folks. That's the apple cake right there. And I'm just gonna put it in the pan, put it in the oven. Like I said, it's gonna take 40 minutes, so I'm pretty sure that I have to do a part 2 of this. So the pan is already grease, and I put some flour in it. See? And if you want a bigger cake, you just double up the recipe. Any recipe, you just double it up. A cup and a half of flour. Instead, you're gonna use what? 3 cups, and that's it. If you're doing for 10 or 12 people, you just double up everything. Double up everything, and you're good. Yeah. But this is I'm just doing this at the regular recipe because it's just for a few people. I'm doing this for like for 2 or 3 people. Dennis and Dudley gonna be coming by. So, and when you make a cake like this and you get it stale for a couple days, oh my goodness. Okay, now I need my scraper. Because there's a lot of stuff still leaking in here. You don't want to throw that all out. I think this might even bake before 40 minutes. I'm trying to remember. Should be done before 40 minutes because it's not a really huge cake. I'll see what happens. Okay. And all I do right now, I just smooth everything out. Yeah. The apples look so good. Yeah, you just smooth it out. Give it a nice, okay. Smooth it out. You have to just even it out, you know. You want it baked evenly. Not some part baked before the other. No, you just even everything out. And like I said, folks, Easter. This is Easter. This is the baking season for buns and hot cross bun and Jamaican bun, Jamaican spice bun. You know, that's what I grew up with. At this time, my grandma would be baking like crazy. God rest her soul, and my mom. And this is that, you know, that's a part of the culture. I think the next thing I'll bake a bun. Yes, Easter bun next. I think this Sunday is what? Easter Sunday. Like mine, folks, I'm not gonna lie, I'm not really into this traditional, you know, when I was young growing up, but that in Christmas and all of that. No, I'm not really into it, but you know what? More power for people who you know, celebrate their thing, you know. Okay, so folks, this is it right here, and I'm gonna be putting it to the oven because the oven is already heated. So that's the apple cake right there, folks, and in 40 minutes it will be out of the oven. Okay, so folks, once it's baked, I will come back and show you what it looks like. And you know what, we have a taste, put some ice cream on it. So that's a apple cake there, folks. All right, peace.